Good morning YouTube. We are now dry laying our first course of brick, the semi-engineering brick that goes below ground, and I couldn't put another block on because it's too close to the soil line and it might have been seen, so I've had to go down a bit, unfortunately. But what we do, we dry laid our bricks out and using a 10mm bolt just to make sure that they're dead 10mm. They worked in nicely across there, worked in down here. However, I'm just 10mm over. I'm going to lose 10mm in the joints, which I can do over that gap. And so we bedded round all the way round to there. And we've just got a slightly big gap there which we can close up. So as I can show you, there you go, you put your 10 bolts in, 10mm bolt each time, and then that shows me we are in nicely in bond. Okay, so that's a good tip. The 10mm bolt, put them between each gap, and then you can roughly guess where you can roughly work out where your bricks are going, where's any cuts or where you need to open them a bit. Okay, we'll crack on. Okay, everybody, right, built it up to down course. So using these semi-engineerings, got it up to there. Obviously we've dry laid it out so we know we're in actual bond, so rack the corner back up to there. I've got a reference datum peg there, and I've got a reference datum peg here, and so I've built this corner up and I'm just running these in just to get one course on. And so we're going to rack around and build all the corners up and get it up to DPC height, and then we can put these vents through. You see the vents in there, these have got to come through the ground, under the hardcore, up, telescope up and out, and that's to vent the wooden floor. So I'm just going to get these down now, so nice and level across, cornered up, squared up when we corner up, get this up, work round. Happy days. So I've got to work overhand, that's the problem when you're down in the trench, but that's the way it is. If you want to just have a quick look. What I'm basically showing is lots of little tips if you're having a go yourself doing an extension. So I don't have laser levels, I just use my level. I get it pretty much bang on anyway. A lot of it's just common sense. Obviously it'll be better when we get out and building on the right way. Just as a reference. Spot on. Yep, bang on. I'll carry on cornering up. We'll get round there, I'll get back to you later. Just want to explain what I meant by datum. So this level is the same level as the damp course, okay? It's level through, so on this corner I can gauge down from that with a tape. Let me show you. .390, and so I can work out the joint, the thickness of the brick and the joint, and then just gauge it to the top of that, and it should be right, that down there. Or I could do it this way, by putting rod brick through, level through. So whatever's for speed, however you do it, there's two different ways there. Okay, so just thought I'd just show you that, and dare I say in the comments, make a comment. Okay. Let us know in your comments. Just building up the inner wall with 7 Newton concrete blocks and levelling around as we go, ready for the hardcore or MOT type one. I've got this thing I want to show you here. We have air vents. See the vents? These are because it's got a wooden floor inside, and they vent the floor, so we can't block up the vents. So we've got a vent through under the hardcore, under the MOT, across, up, and vent out to that. and then the hardcore sitting on, MOT type one is sitting on the top. So I'll show you that when I come to it. So we've got to break into that, get a vent in there, bring it through, up and vent it out into that one, and then we can cover over, because we're doing a solid floor on this one. Okay, so we're just building up our sides, and we're all nice and level, and we're up to damp course. That's damp course, but because it's a wooden floor, we've got to go higher here on the inside. We've got another course of brick to go on to bring it up to floor level. Okay, so this is where we're at in the build. It's a wraparound extension, as I said, so it takes a bit of squaring up, but we've done it, and we'll come back to you in a bit when we come to this venting. Okay. I put actually tie wires in, but you don't need to. Okay, we've changed the plan. We put a telescopic in instead of copying that. So we've got, we can come in with a duct here through. We'll probably connect it down with a bend, take it further down there, and keep it in the soil. So just change it to the telescopic, which I think will be better at the end of the day. It's what the inspector wanted. So we can carry on now, and I'll come back later when we connect that to that vent there. Okay, back on the job this morning, and we've going to put this duct in before we put this with, fill this with MOT. So just smashed it out with the hammer like this, and what we've got here is a big void in there. So you've got your your concrete floor that's down here, and then it's sat joists are sat on honeycomb walls, and we've got like big air. So we're going to bring this through so that we can vent it from the outside through and into here. This hasn't got to go into the MOT. It's got to be below it, come up and into here, and then a hardcore goes over the top of that. So I'll come back to you in a minute when we connect it together. So this is to just bring the air through the extension and continue an airflow so that the joists and the floor can breathe and don't sweat and create moisture, and so rot the beams. Okay, so that's what we're doing now, and we'll come back when we start filling in again. We've got that, got it connected up. It's gone into there. We've got to take it further down. I'll show you. So I've got the pipe going right in there, so it's venting straight through, and I'm going to put some pea gravel over it, and then we'll build that in. Okay, we'll come back to you when that's built in there, and then we'll fill it with hardcore next. Okay. It moves around better as well.
What's that?
It moves better when it's wet as well. What we've done, because it's so hot and dry, we've wet the MOT down because it's just clouds of dust, and we're putting about, I've ordered about 8 tonne, I'll probably take about 6 tonne in this because we dragged it off quite a bit. So we're layering it because it's so deep. We put it in layers. So you lay your first down, whack it, put your next layer down, whack it, and we'll get another layer on and whack that. Because of the depth is about 200 mil. So the whack course on the top won't reach the bottom. So we layer it in, whack it in layers. Okay, so we'll carry on now. Just an explanation of why we put sand on top of hardcore. Even though the hardcore's been whacked down, this protects the polythene or the visqueen that goes on top. Because we get sharp stones like this sticking up, even though it's whacked, they still stick up. And so we put generally a 50mm layer of sand over this, and that's what we're doing now. So spreading that over to a 50mm or 2-inch bed, and then it's whacked down again. The reason why the sand is whacked, you might think, well, why don't you just put it on top of the sand? Well, when the weight of the concrete goes onto sand that's not whacked down, it sinks, and so you get a void under your concrete, and then the concrete will shrink and crack. So that's the reason why this sand is whacked as well. Okay, so just take you through the process of why we do these things anyway. Okay, so we'll carry on, get this covered, get the visqueen on, and then get our insulation on, and then we'll visqueen it again. It's ready for concrete. Okay, we'll carry on. The reason I am levelling the sand is because when the weight of the concrete comes on top of the insulation, it will dent and dip, and so this prevents that happening. There. Okay, this is now putting the visqueen on, and this is how we do it sequentially. It's the hardcore, sand, visqueen, and then the Salatex on top, the insulation on top of this, and then we put this visqueen back on top. Okay, this is 1200 gauge, 300.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to grey as you fade away.
Yeah, there we go. Because we took a bit of time on levelling, they're all nicely butted up and sit flush, as you can see. So we've just got to cut a bit more in here and put it up, stands up, and visqueen on the top again. Okay. Right, now that we've got our insulation down, we tape the joints with this aluminium tape, and stops any moisture coming through the joints and seals them together. I just usually cut a full length, stick it down, and as I'm going I pull the bottom off like that, so it sticks it to it. Okay. And then when we've done this, we put another layer of this screen over the top of this as well. But we've got to put it up, stands up, which is this 25mm first, and then lap it again, and then we're ready for concrete. Okay, we'll carry on. This is just some information for you on you know, the insulation and the oversight concrete and underneath, what goes underneath and the process. Okay. Carry on. Okay, that's it taped up. As you can see, it's all taped, and now we will be putting on the rest of the visqueen to cover this. Okay, so it's all taped. 4-inch tape covers the joints. I find this is the best thing to cut this visqueen, just to just get your tin snips. Otherwise you try and use a knife, it goes in layers, this does. So you find this is probably the best way to cut it all together. So now we're putting this on top of this again. So what we're doing here is cavity filling to 6 inch below the damp course, and then we've got an angled piece like this that goes in like so. That chamfers it. This is only a weak mix, slurry, so it stops the walls caving in from this side and that side, because there's no stability with it being a cavity. So that's what we're doing now. There we go. All done in less than an hour.